Since the fall of the wall, Berlin has undergone profound transformation that has reconfigured the political contours of Berlin's social and cultural terrain. The subtle transformation that confronting Berlin today is not one of the form, but one of identity. Hence, the planners, government, and many urban renewal agencies along with the society have experienced a diverse problem in terms of creating, defining, and maintaining the particular cultural identity in the phase of fragmented past and globalized future. Consequently, Berlin undergoes very unstable terrain of historical past that in search for cultural identity, and it collides with political memories. The particular site chosen epitomizes what is actually going on in Berlin. The site portrays the power of Berlin's politics in terms of architecture piece that affects the people in questioning what is meant now to be German. The reconstruction of the Schloss happens as a way to reconstruct unification of Berlin's identity, where it embodies heterogeneity of Berlin's culture and memories before it demolished in 1950. The site was formerly the Prussian Palace or the Schloss since 14th century. On August 23, 1950, the German Democratic Republic decreed the castle, the symbol of Prussian imperialism and Nazism, was demolished. Under the GDR, Berlin had never been in insufficient condition as they had a planned economical strategies causing them to never have a financial problem for a construction project. This causing Berlin to proceed on the advancement of their urban landscape during 1970s, which led to the decision to build a horizontal box with a golden mirror glass facade called Palace of the Republic. The palace was finally opened for public and only last for 20 years, where it shut down in 1990 due to asbestos in the steel frame of the building. The palace was left abandoned until 2003 when the German parliament decided to demolish the building, but the plan was postponed until 2008. Now, the government is on progress to reconstruct the former Berlin City Palace that will be completed in 2019. The City Palace symbolized the city central for Berlin and held great importance in history. From the 1700s to 1900s, it functioned as a residential palace for electors, monarchs and emperors, but after the 1900s it had functioned as a museum after the fall of the German Empire. The City Palace was designed by German architect Andreas Schlüter, who used the architectural style of Baroque. It is the architectural style that began in late 16th century, which used the features of Renaissance architecture and implemented in a new rhetorical and theatrical fashion. In early years, the City Palace became a symbol of Prussian militarism and oppression due to two of the many conflicts that erupted. One of these conflicts was World War II, which severely damaged the City Palace. Although the damages could have been easily fixed, it had remained unrepaired for years until 1950 when the German Democratic Republic decided to demolish the building as well as the Prussian history that was contained within the structure. Palace de Republic was a rebuilt from destruction of Berlin Royal Palace, where this was previously demolished due to political issue between parties in Germany. Thus the appearance of Berlin Wall was designated to separate those who support their beliefs in certain politic ideology. The notion of modernism derived from GDR, who had ambition to impress the global by applying the idea of neoclassic skyscrapers to this project. Modernist ideology was chosen as to symbolize young socialist state. Also, GDR government wanted to present East Germany as a cosmopolitan and modern city. As the result, the utilization of modernist architecture was appeared from its cubic structure, flat roof, curtain wall, intended ground floor, and an asymmetrical configuration. However, the application of steel structure recognized to have robust affiliation with Industrial Revolution. Additionally, behind these facades, contemporary yet modern design construction was also erected throughout the interior. Furthermore, the general outlook of this construction was reflecting to post-war architecture. As a modern construction during its era, the architect of Palace de Republic considered his work as more to contemporary design due to the application of modernist architecture. To relate contemporary and modernist, according to Muckenheim and Demo 2012, contemporary refers to design that is current or in season, Even contemporary design in 2000s may no longer considered as contemporary but vintage. While it is true, for that current moment the design considered as a celebration to embrace the specialty of East Germany, but the presence of contemporary in this building was not particularly just a design representation for East Germany but also in bigger scope, started from the planning, material selections and the design itself. As in for planning, impulsive decision was made to exchange City Palace with Palace of the Republic by demolishing it due to the representation of interior Berlin. Meanwhile for material selection, combination between steel, precast concrete, and curtain wall tended to indicate simplicity and tranquil construction, whereas until the end of its appearance this building recognized as stunning and modern but poor in quality. Nevertheless, modernist architecture was applied in this building by presenting contemporary design to symbolize and celebrate the new East Germany. German reunification has led to the destruction of old system traces in order to remove German Democratic Republic symbol that marks as mental barriers between East and West Berlin. Devoid of Berlin collective memories therefore are composed by multiple layers of urban space, from the Prussian to Nazi, the Jews, the Easterners and Westerners of Berlin, and reunited Germans. In search of Berlin identity, it is significant to trace back each phases based on time and spatial occupancy upon the site. The belief is about engagement between the dwelled urban space and the societies, that later, one could choose which past power to be reconstructed or disassembled. By selecting the layers to be arranged in a linear narrative, the Schloss reconstruction has been chosen to fill the void of long-ignored colonial atrocities, which initially had hosted the site for over 500 years. The reconstruction of Schloss can be argued as a late critical reconstruction approach. Since the fall of the Wall of Berlin, several approaches of reconstructing Berlin has been undertaken which formally initiated and led by Andreas Hamer. The idea of critical reconstruction strongly integrated with the idea of traditionalism, where in its earliest application it triggers a never-ending architectural debates as it regarded as a past-looking backward approach that contrasting the new image of Berlin reunification. German parliament decision to reconstruct the Schloss seems to portray what the former planners did in a way. They crossed back to the earliest era of Germany by encompassed the classical style of architecture piece. The parliament hopes to bring back the long-lost forgotten colonialism building that has been around longer than the Palace of Republican itself and that they believe it shows the purest identity of Germany. Responding to many controversial issue of the Schloss reconstruction, the demolition of Palace of the Republic had been done in a such less vicious manner that use environmental and sustainable approach, acclaimed as an intricate dismantling process. But the problem here lies on the unstable cultural identity shown with the back-to-back reconstruction. It can be understood that its culture is shaped by their survival history and it would be misinterpreted if we try to remove its past. Rather it would be surpassing if instead the reconstruction is showcasing its violent history by still showing their declaration on reunification. The earliest application of the exemplar building reconstruct with critical reconstruction manner doesn't really shows its successful attempt, and instead, generates public confusion. So, looking at the failed attempt demonstrated by the planners alongside the early critical reconstruction architectural debates, it comes to doubt of what exactly the point of reconstruct Schloss and their vision they wish to achieve to. Will this late critical reconstruction work in the near future? And what will the reaction of society? Will it trigger the confusion of Berlin's identity? Or instead, it will encompass the unification of Berlin's identity in a linear narrative?